Hi everyone, Vargas Hobbies here, and today I'm going to do a quick review on the DB launcher you get from AliExpress. Compared to the official ones, there are not many differences. There are a few, which I'll show you in just a moment, but to begin with, to get the conclusion out of the way, I do recommend these. I think they are excellent, especially for the price, and especially if you plan to do some modding, and I think they work perfectly. These slots are perfectly tight. They fit all your accessories exactly as they should. So, let's get into the teardown. So, to start with, just unclip. There are 7 screws to undo. They're all the same length, but just keep them somewhere safe, I use a Pringle lid. .2.0 screwdriver head, in case you're wondering. Put these somewhere safe. Let's open it up. Now, the first difference between the Takara model is this little slot here has a little brass tube to allow the string to flow through just a bit more smoothly. However, I found no real difference between it. The clip serves its purpose alone. You might feel just a touch more resistance or drag, but I've noticed nothing significant. Other than that, the shell is identical. It's a good, tough plastic, which is more than I can say for certain others. For example, compared to the plastic on these AliExpress dual MF launchers, which I don't recommend, the plastic just feels thin and ready to snap at any moment. The second difference is in the spring housing here. Once we take those out, again, keep them safe. Those are, I don't believe they're different from the case screws, but keep them separate anyway, just in case. There's no point in risking it. This is the only other difference. When you get these, I do recommend you dismantle them and just move the string over if you don't plan on completely converting these. But in the official Takara ones, there's a small piece of metal here that helps prevent the knot from slipping through. But what you can do, and what I'm about to do with this one, is just tie a quick double knot, and that should be more than strong enough to prevent it from slipping through. Make sure it gets as close. And if you want to be extra safe, just put a triple knot in. But honestly, you don't need to. But it can help you just feel a bit more confident. The second part is, and I've seen this with every one of them, for some reason they always put the knot here, which is not where it's supposed to be. It's actually supposed to be all the way around here, threading through, and like that. Which is, one, it puts the pressure in alternating directions, making it overall generally a bit stronger, and two, it gives it 2 narrow channels it would have to slip through rather than 1. So to reassemble these, it's really simple. Just pop that back on. Use your 2.0 Phillips head bit. Just screw them back in nicely. Then just a case of these reassembled just like the official launchers. Just wrap this up counterclockwise when you're looking at the square bit. If you're unsure, just give it a small tug after wrapping it a few times and holding that firm, and you'll feel that the spring wants to twist. Just set the slotted piece into the slotted hole and give it a couple of little twists around just to keep it nice, keep the tension nice and high. Make sure to leave that little metal piece in the head. Try holding it like this when you're trying to reassemble the case. I find that helps. Then just pop the case back on, hold with friction, and then just reattach all 7 of the original screws. I recommend doing one in the upper section of the housing first, and then putting a second one in the lower section, just to keep the assembly closed while you handle the others. Now don't bother over tightening any of these screws yet, because you're going to want to get all the screws in and screw down nicely before you try tightening them. And even then, don't over tighten. These are just plastic threads and you don't want to strip those, or the screws simply won't work any longer. Now that all of those are in, just go around and give everything a small tighten. You don't need to do it too hard, just make sure that they're all as tight as I'll go without too much resistance. And you have it fully assembled. So that's the total string length you get. I think it's a touch longer than the officials, but if you're planning to mod launcher, it shouldn't matter anyway. And if you're taking it apart, you may as well give it a longer string mod anyway. Technically lower quality in that it's missing 2 metal components on the inside, but those are 2 metal components you can get away without. And if you really want them, you can source your own or make your own. But I've used quite a lot of these knockoff DB launchers and I've never had a problem regarding those 2 missing metal pieces. In terms of performance, they launch perfectly fine. But generally speaking, I think the DB launcher, with the exception of the original launchers, and the HMS launchers, which I'm a big fan of, I genuinely think these are some of the best launchers we've ever got. They're very mod friendly. And that's what I love about these Burst series launchers. With a little tinkering, you can launch anything, including Plastic Gen, Metal Fight, X, and knowing the internals of the MF launcher, you could modify them to use these, but these are rare as is, so I'm not going to strip mine down just to do that. Plus they're bi-directional anyway. You could do it with one of these, I'm 100% certain. So, what can I say? I recommend them. If you want one, get one. Bye.